Yo, people, what are you saying? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. I'm joined by the man, the menace, Saj. Do you know what I mean? It's been getting a little bit of up and down comments. People not too keen, whether they are keen, but this is actually his team we're coming up against. So if it was one time to have him on, this is actually the time. Saj, what are you saying, my guy?
All of your fans are haters and they can go suck themselves, okay? I've been very nice.
Wow,
very nice.
Wow.
Oh, no. I've been very nice with the Chelsea contingent, and they just hurt my feelings, okay? They're mean. You're unnecessarily mean, okay? There's only so many fat jokes you can make. Down.
As I've been saying, lateness is greatness, people. The Lampard shirt is in the background. We know he played for both clubs, but like I keep saying, he was a legend at one. I don't want to see Man City admin trying to post Lampard was a legend at our club and all that trolling crap.
That 4-4 draw, yeah? You'll never forget. 3-3?
I'm not entertaining it.
3-3. Never forget.
What are you talking about? What result are you the game that he scored in against us? Is that what you're referring to? It wasn't 3-3. I think it was 1-1. I can't remember.
Man City tons of legends. Robbie Fowler, Man City legend. Tevez, Man City, maybe Tevez, Man City legend. Everyone's a Man City legend who plays for Man City. Michael, Man City legend.
You started stuttering when you said Tevez, so we'll move on swiftly. First of all, as usual, we start with the team news. My team looks calm. Do you know what I mean? You're flickering your eyes already because it took a long time to even convince him to even come on because he was there offering them and about, potentially there's going to be no players available. I don't know who's fit, Matisse, all this kind of stuff. So, Saj, what players to your knowledge are available? Because you've been complaining a lot today. Do you know what I mean?
So,
I know.
Half of the man that have been putting out the news of Man City said everyone, you're wrong. So the only ones that are confirmed to be out is Kyle Walker, obviously, and Gabriel Jesus. Those ones were known. Tommy Doyley, he's also got corona, he's out. And the final one is Edison. And then there's one more that's not known, so we'll see. This situation is what I like to refer to as a free hit, as in
for Chelsea, in terms of we should be winning this game, free hit.
A million percent. So then there's one more, maybe two that people don't know that have corona. If Lampard loses this, inexcusable, fam. I don't care.
Inexcusable. So we should be winning this just hands down, no problems, no complaints.
Now, if we win this, I don't know what magic Pep has done. I'm not sure what goat worship, what kind of, I don't know, Eastern European voodoo. I don't know. If we win this game, questions need to be asked because we haven't got our starting goalkeeper. We haven't got our current starting striker. We haven't got our current left back. We're depleted. This is rough.
So really, because coming into this game, I always said to myself, okay, the form that we're in, okay, we are probably not favourites, but hold on, we're clearly at home. I don't think the home advantage is even running this season, to be honest, and from what I'm watching. But you're saying with the squad that you have that is so depleted, we are actually favourites for this game. We should be winning this match.
I'm just saying, it seems like everyone's fit for you pretty much, except for maybe one or two. And if that's the case, this should be an easy 3 points. Easy 3 points.
Someone's saying the only big loss you actually have going into this game is Edison because you already have Carcelo. Talk to me about how Man City, like the form you're in going into this game. I think your last game you beat Newcastle 2-0. How have Man City been playing? Educate the people. Let us know.
So it's been a very stop and start season this year. Okay, I see what Monster's saying, as in there's no such thing as a free hit. I respect it, yeah, but what I'm saying is it's been the thing with Man City is essentially we've been holding games in advance. So we've got games to play. So This is kind of the saving grace that if we just win all of our games, at some point we'll catch up. But that doesn't really mean we're going to win those games. That just means we've got games in hand, essentially. It's been a very stop and start situation. I mean, this season, I don't know what's going on, man. Pep seems to. It's up and downs, ebbs and flows. I really didn't think he'd sign the new contract. So at one point, it was looking like he was going to go. I'm glad that he still stayed, but at the same time, it's been very stop and start. Just we win some.
Is that why you? Is that why whenever you come on here, you keep saying to everyone you need to have patience for Lampard because even Pep, who's an experienced world-class manager, hasn't impressed you that much this season? Or are you just saying it to try and piss people off?
No, I'm not. I don't understand. Chelsea fan, you man are bugging personally, fam. 16 games within 16 wins. You went on a 16-game winning streak. And okay, cool.
No. It wasn't a winning streak. It was a 17-game unbeaten run. Don't get it. If it was a 16-game winning streak, we wouldn't be having these conversations. Stop your nonsense.
Okay, all right, I feel you, but I feel like that should buy some kind of patience, personally, but that's neither here nor there. Now, as a Man City fan, this has been a very frustrating thing because I'm not used to being 10th, 11th, 8th, 7th. So, yeah, I'm like, okay, cool, trust the process and we'll see what the situation is, isn't it? Like, hopefully that. I think it's kind of a rebrand season for Man City in terms of players doing different things. Pep also brought in some players in the off-season, trying to get teams to gel. And for Man City right now, I know this is going to sound really weird, getting a consistent starting 11 is kind of a big thing for us. Because
I mean, you say you don't have a striker available. You have got Torres. Torres is scoring goals. I think you undervalue what he's doing up there. I know Aguero is obviously a better striker, but
okay, I'm not saying he's not, but he's not a striker. He's a winger.
I know he's not a striker, but Pep's always had so many fluid systems since he's been in charge of so many teams. Only really Bayern Munich where he managed Lewandowski because he couldn't leave Lewandowski out of the team. Even at Barcelona, sometimes he played Fabregas false nine. Fabregas ended up scoring quite a lot of goals. He was quite fluid. He dropped deep. David Villa and Messi ran off of him. I think Ferran Torres as well. From what I've seen, he's looked like a good player that can link things up. He's fluid. He runs in the channels. Do you know what I mean? You played Sterling up front false nine. This worked for you at times as well. So it's for me. You're a team that create opportunities, so it doesn't really matter for me. You create a lot of opportunities. Even that season, one season, it was just Sterling managed to stat pad his way up to like 20 goals, but a lot of them were tap-ins because you create so many chances and you create so many opportunities for your players that it doesn't really matter who's up front because there's always a designated player to get on the end of those chances. If you see what I mean, the build-up seems to start from one side. Kevin De Bruyne, those type of players. Bernardo Silva when he was starting regularly, and then you manage to circulate the ball over to another side where the tap in will happen. Do you know what I mean? So I don't feel like you need like a bread and butter finisher in that respect.
The problem now is this season is we're not finishing, and it's very evident to see. It's been so clear that we miss Gabriel, we miss Aguero, and I did say in the offseason that we wouldn't. I felt that we did need to get another striker. I'm not saying like a world-class striker off rip, but someone that could have potentially fitted like in the hole whilst Aguero was out. I didn't think Aguero would be out for this long, so it's kind of been a situation where we're kind of just trying to fill gaps until Aguero comes back. And I thought Gabriel Jesus would step up. He's been good. But he's not as potent of a striker as you would think he is. And Raheem as well this season in terms of goals, it hasn't been great in terms of striking. We're getting lots of chances, we're just not finishing anything. And I think the lack of goals is why. Sorry, go on.
Your defense has been your defense has been your strength, hasn't it, this season?
It's been better this season, yeah. I'd say so. A lot better. It's more.
Other seasons. I think Diaz has definitely gone under the radar. I haven't seen him spoken about too often in the press.
Mm-hmm. It's more for me. We're not scoring enough goals, man. Or we're having opportunities, we're just not finishing them. To the point where there's only so many games you can win 1-0 before, or a team can score a goal back, and now you've ended the game 1-1. Or in some cases, you've had like 15 chances on goal. None of them have materialized, and the teams had 2 lucky breaks, and now you're 2-0 down. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I want to get onto obviously. I think we start with Edison because Chelsea. I think Chelsea fans are maybe putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that Hakim Ziyech will be back. I know that he's a big player for us, but I don't think he's going to start. Try not to change the comments. Whoever's doing that, it's cameraman. Because I'm trying to actually use the comments to read for shit. Jesus Christ, man, who gave this guy the admin? Golly, you've just lost a point that I wanted to bring up. This guy. Edison. I wanted to get onto Edison in a minute, but I think Ziyech is a player that Chelsea fans are maybe speaking about a lot in terms of players that they can hype up because that could be coming back fit. Because I don't think Ziyech is even going to start the game anyway, so we need to be a bit cautious with that. In terms of, it would be stupid for me to start Ziyech just coming back from injury because we've seen already that he's suffered with quite a few injury problems this season. So it only takes now one more time, gets injured again, pulls up, and then we're screwed. So. We're going to start with Edison obviously being out. You said that you think that is nearly 100%. I think everybody's saying that Edison's been out, so we have to kind of just
confirmed by the club.
Sorry,
it's been confirmed by the club.
It's been confirmed.
Yeah.
So who's starting goal for you guys?
I think
Bravo's
left Man City. Why does everyone keep saying Bravo? Bravo's not a Man City player. Times, okay? It's never good. When you were Barcelona's number one, we signed you. You played one season, and you never. And then we signed another goalkeeper. That just says, here's the thing: you want to talk the battle of the dud goalkeepers, yeah? Kepa versus Bravo. We could be here all day. I think it would probably be Zach. I think it would be probably the American Zach Steffen in goal. Oh, the American Zach Steffen. He's quite good. He's 25 now, I believe. He's quite good. He hasn't gotten many chances in the starting 11.
Are you confident with him starting? You think you can?
Just hasn't had many opportunities. It's going to be interesting to see how well he does. And yeah, it's going to be good because coming into such a high pressure game as Chelsea, it could really, hopefully, depending on how long Edison's out for, maybe launchpad him into having like a maybe 5-6 game run, depending on what the situation is with the recovery times for Edison and the others. Hopefully, it'll be good to see what he can do.
Chelsea fans, message to you. We need to pepper their goal with shots. I'm talking shots after shots. I don't care what the situation. I need Mason Mount popping them off. Hakim Ziyech, if he comes onto the bench, popping them off. I need Havertz, Giroud. I don't care who starts. Pop the shots off on this guy. I don't know who this guy is that you just described. Yeah. Sounds like someone that's just come over from the MLS. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. From his college graduate. Pepper those shots off at that goal. I want shots flying in. I don't care. I want to see shots. You don't sound confident. You don't sound confident at all.
No. Here's the thing, because I'm just I understand what this game is. So I'm not gonna get frustrated. He's very good.
Like, are you already going into the game with a mentality where you don't mind, like if Man City lose, you're okay with it, considering the form we're in?
Okay with it. That's not the correct response. F that. Absolutely no. I want to win the game, obviously, but you have to kind of be mindful of the current situation you're in. You know, like Liverpool fans, like for instance, must be excited that they're where they are in the league, but they could understand if they went on like maybe a couple games with like not winning, but considering all the injuries they had at one point. You know, it's just the current. It's the state of
I get it, but you're coming up against a Chelsea team. A lot of people are saying in the chat there's no such thing as a free hit, which I think is true. You're playing your team's chances down so much, like as if you ain't Man City. Like what? You've got a deep squad, no?
Bro, but again, like there's only because you don't watch Man City in it. I've been watching Man City all season. There's only so many times where I know like our not frailties, but I know where we are susceptible, and I know how important.
Yeah, and Chelsea, trust me, Chelsea are looking bare suspect right now. Have you not been watching us?
I have, but that's only because I have to work with you to do this channel. So yeah, it's more about not being like just. I know how important the goalkeeper is, you know, and like look at this. Like for instance, when even Liverpool, for instance, even when I don't want to keep making comparisons between Man City and Liverpool, but for instance, when Alisson is out and Adrian is in, you just feel that, as like I've seen Liverpool fans I've spoken to, they just feel that it's not right and something's just gonna go wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. But again, I'm a bit confused because we still don't know the last player potentially that is out due to the disease. So I have to kind of wait to see what that situation is, because I just want to know, maybe as long as it's not another like either star player or a striker. Hopefully, I'm not sure what 11 Pep is going to pick right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for me, going into the game, I think the one thing I will say is that Man City have obviously missed a couple of training days this week. I think your whole training ground was sectioned off, isn't it? I don't know if you trained at the stadium or how that worked, but you didn't have the training ground available to you, so your preparation kind of got messed up for the game. My thing is that Chelsea are in one win in their last 5, is it, or something like that? So for me, I'm not saying that we should be underdogs, but definitely I wouldn't say that you should be not very confident going into the game. Chelsea are looking very ropey right now. One thing we do have in our favor is it looks like we have most of our team back in terms of fitness. I don't know how everybody's recovered after the 2 games in 3 days situation, because that must have took a big toll on the players. What should we be worried about from your team? Because you sound like there's nothing, Sterling, Torres, you're not convinced. Is there anything we should be worried about?
I just no, just don't get twisted. We still got. I don't know if I'm not sure. Please, someone in the chat tell me. I'm not sure if Aguero's fit to start. He has been rested for a while, so I think he might be. No, of course, we still got Raheem, who can do magic things on his day. We still got KDB, who's arguably the best midfielder in the league. Yeah, we still got people that can put in the work and shimmy.
Why did you say that with such a? You said that with such a grin. Is there? Are you not confident in that statement that you just said?
No. Of course not. I'm just saying. I don't want to rub it in too much. Chelsea and Kevin De Bruyne and whatnot. I didn't want to see.
No, it's fine. Just.
I love you. That's why I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I love you.
No. Chelsea fans have no issue with Kevin De Bruyne. I think certain Man United fans, if there's any in the chat, Bruno Fernandes and whatnot, you might have to speak to them. No, is that a discussion?
We don't bring up the other side over here, okay? We don't talk about those. No. Anyway, yeah, we still got man that can hurt you, but at the same time, I'm like half like okay, 3/4 strong Man City team versus what they make the assumption would be a pretty much starting 11 Chelsea team. It's going to be hard, of course, because also I know that Lampard is looking to galvanize the team in a way where you lot can get a result and hopefully get back on a bounce. So it's not going to get back on the bounce of like winning ways. So I know it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I'm going to go through what I would do for this game if I was Chelsea in terms of going through it, and then I want to try and do a combined 11 because I want to see who gets into whose team, because I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm trying to look at the table here. Man City have not been. I mean, you guys are what? Where are you in the league at the moment? You guys are 8th. You've got 2 games in hand over us.
3 games.
So you've got 2 games in hand over us. You've played 14. We played 16. So you have games in hand, but you still have to win those games. You're currently 8th in the league. So I think I don't know. I feel like the combined team would be a little bit more interesting than I give it credit for. But Chelsea, for me, what I want to see from Chelsea going into this game is I want to see a plan. Whether you go counter attack or you go offensive, but I want players to match up with others. So, for instance, I personally would like to see Giroud up top. I think he's been our most potent finisher this season in terms of chance conversion. And I want to see Hudson-Odoi on one wing, and I want to see Christian Pulisic on the other wing. I want to see 2 out-and-out wingers on the wing. I don't want to see Timo Werner because I think this is going to be a tight game of limited opportunities. I don't think it's going to be a free-flowing, high goal-scoring game, despite Chelsea's defense being a little bit leaky recently. I think it could be like a 2-1, 1-0 type game. It's going to be a game of limited chances for me, which means I need to see a striker up there who's confident in his finishing right now, and that's obviously not Timo Werner. I'd go with Giroud in the box. I'd go with Christian Pulisic on the left, Hudson-Odoi on the right, Reece James coming back into the team as well, right back. Really try and get those crosses in from the right hand side. Chelsea are crossing at the moment anyway, but I think if you play Giroud and you play Kai Havertz in the 8 position as well, and say to him, right, you've had a few games drop now. He hasn't played in like 3 or 4 games from the start. Now, let's see if you have the confidence to go into this match, try and play your stuff. We're going to take Timo out this time and go to get yourself into the box, arriving into the box. When we cross the ball, I want to see Kai Havertz in the box with Giroud. I want numbers in the box. That's my problem. I want the opposite winger in the box. I want Giroud in the box, and I want Kai in the box. Minimum those 3. So if the ball's coming down the right channel, you've got... Sorry?
How tall is Kai? Just an estimate. Not exact height.
What do you mean? How old is he?
How tall is he?
How tall is he? He looks like 6'3". He's very tall. 6'3", I think, roughly. Maybe 6'2", 6'3". But he like I said, he was playing false nine for Leverkusen, scored quite a few headers. I think his hold-up play and everything, those are the areas of his game that he was working on when he was playing that role after lockdown last season. I think he's more than capable of getting into the box and getting goals if we actually allow him to get into those positions. I haven't seen Kai very high up in the final third this season, to be honest. So if we're working the ball down the right, which we usually do with Reece James and kind of Hudson-Odoi, there's actually been a few instances which I've liked where Hudson-Odoi switched over to the other flank, and Hudson-Odoi has then doubled up with Pulisic on the left. And then what's happened there is that we've had two left wingers and Chilwell, which has created an overload, and then there's a lot of space on the right hand side. I like that. I think that happened quite a lot against Aston Villa, where Hudson-Odoi would switch over to the left wing, double up with Pulisic, and then you have an overload. But that means you've got a lot of space to switch the play, which Hudson-Odoi is very good at. Mason Mount's very good at. Switch the play quickly over to Reece James, who's got acres of space to deliver the ball. But at that point, when the ball is delivered, I need numbers in the box. I need Pulisic in the box.
To play.
Sorry?
Is James fit? Is he fit to play?
Huh?
Is Reece James fit to play?
Reece James should be fit, yeah. I haven't heard any... Yeah, he should be fit to play, yeah. I know he was carrying a little something, but I haven't heard anything new on that situation. So I think he is fit. And let's chat if there's anything that I've missed out, but I think he is fit to play. I would want to see Christian Pulisic in the box. He was getting into the box a lot last season in that left wing spot after lockdown as well. Scored a lot of goals for us at the latter part of last season. Him and Giroud really carried us, to be honest, to make 4th place. So I want to see Pulisic in the box at the back post, just in case it gets flashed across and no one gets there. I want to see Giroud in the box. I want to see Kai Havertz in the box when they cross it in. So that's what I'm hoping for if we play Giroud. If we don't, and a lot of people have been suggesting this, and I want to get your take on this. A lot of people are saying play Timo Werner down the middle and play Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi on either wing and go counter-attack, maybe pacing behind. My only thing is Chelsea. I have not seen Chelsea exploit the space in behind any defense really too much this season. I think I've seen a stat. Bruno Fernandes has more through balls played than the whole of Chelsea's team this season.
Where did you get that stat from, bro?
I found the stat. I'm being dead ass, bro. Ask the chat. How many times have you seen Chelsea this season play a through ball? Think to yourselves. Just think about it. How many times have you seen Chelsea in behind the opposition defense, one-on-one with the goalkeeper? Think about it. A long-range pass in behind the defense, but not very often.
Not the games that I've watched. No.
I haven't seen it, bro. Honestly. So that stat for me, it was like Bruno Fernandes to 8 and Chelsea to like 7 or some crap. I don't know. It was tweeted out by someone that I think is very, very reliable in terms of Newman. But my goodness, if that's true, do you know what I mean? That's nuts. Do you know what I mean?
Saying he got injured, man.
They're saying Reece James. Well then, bloody hell. Do you know what I mean? If Reece James if he got injured again. So this is just infuriating me even more, because that means now, once again, we've played him too early. He played in that Arsenal game.
Situations.
Huh?
What is going on with Chelsea in certain injury situations? Why do certain players
bro? I said this. We spoke about this. I spoke about this after the Arsenal game. I felt like Chelsea, they played Reece James too soon, and then it came out that he had a little niggle and that he had a little issue, and then it sounded like he was going to be okay because it wasn't that deep and it was going to be not a problem. But how many times do we hear people saying, "Oh, it's not that deep, it's not big of a problem," and then next thing you know, we see the situation here: Reece James not in the team, not available. So this is something that just happens too often at Chelsea. Happened with Pulisic. where he's got a little niggle, but then it just gets delayed and delayed and delayed. And I said after that Arsenal game, why did we start? Reece James against Arsenal was really poor. Gave away a penalty, got dealt with by Tierney really the whole game. Why did we play Reece James against Arsenal? Why did we rush him back? What was the point of that? When we had Aston Villa in a couple of days, what was the point? That's what I said. That's what I said for this reason.
Don't you feel like he's been injured a lot of times since coming to Chelsea?
Mismanagement, bro. Mismanagement of injuries. Mismanagement. Yeah, that's what I can put it down to. Why rush someone after the game? Why rush someone back to full fitness for the Arsenal game when you've got a game against Aston Villa in 2 days' time? Why do that? There's no reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I mean, you can still go with what I said and try and create an overload, but you're now creating it for Aspilicueta, which for me is not. Everybody knows the difference between Aspilicueta and Reece James. It's night and day in terms of.
My question is, I don't think he'll be able to get back.
Huh? Exactly. Yeah, and that's another thing. Would he be able to get back? Exactly.
But Man City has runners as wingers, so now the problem is we could overlap you and hit you on the counter.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. In terms of if you're going with Aspilicueta, I probably wouldn't risk it because then, yeah, you are leaving yourself a little bit exposed over there. And as well, if you're playing Kai Havertz, that's another person that means you're leaving that right side very exposed. Because I don't mind Reece James going forward on the overload from the left if he's crossing from deep and he's not too high up because he can get back. And you keep Mason Mount and you keep Kante as your defensive pivot in that transition to defend and recover the ball. And obviously you keep your defenders and you can even keep Chilwell back there as well because the left side is overloaded with 2 wingers, so you don't really need Chilwell on top of that going forward. So you've got a lot of players like Kante, like Mount, like Chilwell who are good in transition on recovery. They've got great pace and very quick. So that should be able to nullify the situation. Plus you've got Zuma and Silva as well staying back. So that's how the team for me molds into a transition for a defense. But if you're playing Aspie's crossing is okay, but it's not like Reece James. I think everybody will accept that. And again, he's not as quick as Reece James then to get back as well. So you're leaving yourself a little bit exposed. So I'm not sure. And then again, when you're playing Kai Havertz in that right channel getting into the box, like I said, that's another player that's not going to be able to help out the fullback if we get caught. So it's a risky one, man. I'm worried about it. Then again, yeah, Reece James could start to surprise everyone. I don't know anymore. Do you know what I mean? People say this is the problem. People keep, we keep getting these press conferences where they're fit, they're not fit, they're okay, they're not okay. Something could be wrong. They got a little niggle. Okay, cool. Chilwell and Reece weren't fit for Arsenal. Next thing you know, they both start. Like, I don't know what to believe anymore. So I was under the impression that it would be fine, but my God, I don't know anymore. Do you know what I mean? Anything can happen. The other plan, yeah, go for it.
When we were talking about doing the preview, I didn't really want to do this for the simple fact that I don't know between now and the game if anything is subject to change. And
man, that's the case. No, but that's the case with any preview. I mean, when you do a preview, anything can happen. Someone can get injured in the warm-up. Something can happen. They can make a late change. I've been around people who have got information on lineups, and they give it to Twitter maybe earlier than it gets released by the club. And sometimes they get caught out because even Frank Lampard himself can make a tactical change right in the last minute. So it doesn't matter when you do the preview. Once the press conference has been done, you've always got a reason to do a preview because you can even have the discussion of what the hell's going on. Do you know what I mean? But you're never really going to know who's playing because things always change.
It took a long time they wouldn't name the players that had the disease. So I was like, okay, how can I sit down and work on a tactical plan to do a preview if I'm not even absolutely sure at the current position in time who is in and who is out? Because there was lots of people that said John Stones was out with the disease, but then turns out John Stones is fine. And
yeah.
I'm just kind of,
I mean, Chelsea have also had the problem.
So shoot.
Go on.
I was just kind of confused why.
Yeah, Chelsea are the same. We've got playing stuff as well.
Yeah, I don't understand why City just didn't say who is available and who isn't. I'm not understanding the strategy there of withholding names of players.
Chelsea are the same because we've also got playing. Apparently we've got staff that are that have caught it as well, but not the playing staff. So it's must be Cobham or behind the scenes. But again, we don't know who. So I don't know how that situation. I guess they've just been quarantined straight away. The second plan that people wanted was Timo Werner to start up front. But as I said before, Chelsea have played less through balls this season than Bruno Fernandes. So we're not taking advantage of the space in behind, which is what Werner would need to thrive. And even still, once you get in behind, Timo Werner's not doing the basics with his finishing, first touch. These things are not. It's very clear that he's lacking in confidence. If you watched him away from him to Arsenal, probably one of his worst performances for Chelsea, where he couldn't link up any play. I mean, if Tammy Abraham had the same kind of performance as Timo Werner did against Arsenal, he'd be crucified. He couldn't link up play. His first touch was poor when he had an opportunity to take a strike from outside the box. He's basically chasing his shadows. His finishing's been poor as well. So I don't think playing someone of that low confidence against a team like Man City, where you're going to get only a few opportunities, is the wisest ways to go. And like I said, we're not even utilizing his threat, which is in behind anyway. Unless Chelsea are going to counter attack and drop deep, I don't know if that's a good idea against Man City though.
I'm looking in your comments, and there's a dispute on who the fifth person is. Some people are saying, like Christian Cole, for instance, he's saying Fernand Torres is the fifth, and other people are saying no, it's Aguero. This is what I'm talking about. I don't understand why. I don't understand why, if not Pep, someone at City wouldn't just say who the five are. Because now it's created.
Yeah,
confusion.
It's very strange why they wouldn't.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but do you know? Maybe, and this is something to discuss, maybe they're doing it on purpose to throw up tactical like surprises, where now Lampard, to be fair, this is not the stupidest idea. Lampard and his tactical team, when you're doing opposition analysis, you don't know who those two players are now. You know, we've probably confirmed Jesus, Walker, and Edison, yeah? So we don't know the other two. So if we don't know the other two, then Lampard doesn't know the other two, which means he can't really fully prepare. Which means how can he tell his team for corners, for set pieces, who to mark? How can he say, how can he see who to deal with in the half spaces if we're talking about potentially Fernand Torres is not in it, or Aguero, or we don't know who it is. So there's gonna be a couple question marks that he's gonna have to solve while the game kicks off. When we get to start in the lineup eventually, there's going to be a lot of late rushing around, and this is where Chelsea could make late changes, because we could know and think what the Chelsea team is going ahead of time a day before. But if Frank Lampard sees something in the starting lineup from Man City that he wasn't aware of, that changes the game tactically, then suddenly he might have to make a change himself before the game kicks off. So this is where you can't really predict what's going to go on, because Man City's team, the two unknowns versus Chelsea, who, again, even though it says Reece James is injured, I don't know who to believe anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's very difficult.
I would just make the assumption that the FA would make it a point of concern that the moment you find out who your confirmed cases are, you'd have to disclose such information. I didn't think a team could use such a thing as not tactical diversion per se, but as like not tell the other team in advance who the players are. I didn't even think that was an option.
I mean, it's up to the club, I guess, if they want to disclose it or not. They can say how many, but they don't have to say exactly who it is. I guess there's no rule on it. I mean, we could do a combined 11 of who's injured and who's got the disease at this point. Do you know what I mean?
You're silly.
Do you know what I mean? I want to get a score prediction from you, because this is perfect opportunity. I know you're shaking your head, you're vexed. Where's your scarf, by the way? Where's your scarf?
I am.
Is it your half and half scarf, because you're supporting two teams? I
could have gone scarf. You're a dickhead. No, I could have gone scarf. I could have gone everything. But I was like, do you know what? Yeah, let's wait until let's see what happens tomorrow before we make any drastic situations. Score prediction though. 3-1 either way, or 3-2 City.
Where you just like licked your lips and whatnot, because you didn't really want to speak. I'm gonna go with Chelsea. Actually, I've already said it, to be honest, in my last stream with Eunice and Miz. I went for a 2-2 draw. But now that I'm thinking about it, I might change that to a 1-1. I still think it will be a draw, but I did say earlier I don't think there'll be that many goals, and I'm trying to, because we don't know who's available, I mean, on the stream that we did last night, Eunice and Miz seemed to be quite confident who wasn't available. So I don't know. But because we don't know who's available, is there a comment that I should be reading?
You got a rude, you know.
Sad, your hairline is receding.
Hair, bro.
You can't even see his hair, bro. He's got a hat on. You're taking the piss. No, take the hat off. Take the hat off. Take the hat off. Take the hat off. Take the hat off.
I got hair, bro. What the hell? Like,
yo, all it takes is one super chat. Even if you donate 1 penny, he has to take the hat off. In my opinion.
Man City win. There we go.
Oh my god. You've been abused on this channel. Yeah, you've been abused, man.
What did I do to you? Who hurt you? Like,
do you know what? Let's do a very cringy but clickbait thing. Let's respond to hate comments.
Bro, do you know why? Yeah, when we just do the normal videos and they just hear my voice in the background, they're nice to Mad Fam. In the live
it's true.
chat,
they actually do like you. Yeah, when they see you, they don't like you.
I don't know.
I think when they can hear you making jokes in the background for the videos that we shot when we're in the studio, they love you. It's nothing but positive energy, love, cuddles. You know what I mean? He's so funny. We should see him more. When is he coming back? Then we bring him on, and it's just like, fat bastard, get out of the channel, hairline receding.
Just random black guy doing it, but get out of here, bro. You're dead. Come on, fam. Like, why is Cedric the entertainment? What's the fat jokes, bro? Oh, god damn.
Saj, is Cedric the entertainer your dad? Why am I even allowing this to continue?
This is
lock it off.
Let's get back to the topic, please. Jesus Louise, man.
Man's sweating, do you know what I mean? But yeah, but I want to quickly. One thing I want to talk about very quickly, because we're gonna wrap it up maybe 45 minutes. I'll wrap it up in like 7 minutes. Rodri, talk to me, because he's looking a bit dodgy, man. You paid a lot of money for this guy. The season before you wanted Jorginho. I remember Pep and Man City were this close to getting Jorginho, and then it fell through. But Rodri's looking wild, man.
My whole situation is right now, we've got Fernandinho, so I'm hoping that he can just. He's very young still. I think he's like 25.
No, he's not. He's like 30. Fernandinho. Oh, Rodri. Sorry, I thought you said Fernandinho was very young. I was like, what are you talking about?
No.
Oh my god.
No. What I'm saying is like he's very young. Like, so I think he has time to improve. It's just that maybe he's not being like, maybe how the squad is. He just needs time to gel. He's doing good. He plays. He's good, but I mean, it's kind of a stop-start situation where it's game to game, where he can be good for like some games not so much. But then also, is he better than Fernandinho? In my personal opinion, no. But again, Pep picks who he wants to pick. You know, like I didn't know who Rodri really was prior to getting him. All I knew was, he's like, well, Pep picked him, so he's great. But he's been okay. Not much more to say. He's not better than Fernandinho. That's it, pretty much. What do you?
Oh wow. I don't know. I was just asking, like, do you have any confidence going long term? How's it looking? Are you sweating about it? Because, do you know what I mean? In my opinion, he's looking a little bit ropey. This guy, huh?
He can only get better. Would you say?
But are you not worried about how Pep spends money? Yeah,
brother. Oh, that's
you want to
okay.
talk about that? We're not going to talk about that. Should we talk about that? Should we talk about that, people? Ask the chat. Because I'm just saying, like, Lampard's got a lot of flack this season for the players that he's bought and not getting a tune out of them 12, 16 games in or whatever the hell. But Pep, I don't know, man. The guy, when he spends, it seems, it's either this or there's no in between here. It's like it's either very good or flop immediately. He spent a lot of money, man. Do you know what I mean? How's Ake been playing? Because obviously this was a guy that Chelsea fans were lording over. Well, not all. Some really wanted Ake back.
Yeah, I think Ake's been pretty solid. I think he's been quite good so far. Now, over the last few years, have we spent a lot of money on defenders that haven't come to fruition? I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I didn't personally ever want John Stones at the club, but we got him. He's been up and down at the best of times, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I never wanted Mendy, but we got him. Joe Cancelo was a bit of a weird one. He's coming good now. I think he's very good. When he's fit and he's healthy, it's just the amount of money that has been spent. I don't understand when we signed Laporte and then he's injured all the time. People are like, oh my God, how come we signed this player? Laporte has a history of being an injury-prone player. We knew this from his time at Athletic Bilbao, where he spent like a season.
Wait, is he injured again? Is he injured again?
No, not right now. No, not currently. No. But Laporte is like,
where is he?
He's fit and ready to play.
So why is Diaz and Stones being played?
Oh, apparently, it's a better connection and it actually is. They actually gel.
Oh, but you told me Laporte was better than Thiago Silva. All right. All right.
I'm not touching him. He is better. The brother's 38. 38.
I'm just saying. It's always an ageist thing. What's wrong with you people?
One game a season. One game a week. What do you mean?
Hey, I wasn't arguing with you about Laporte. I'm just saying, if Laporte is the best centre back in the league, why is he not playing?
Don't push narratives. Don't do that. Don't. This is why I hate talking football with you. Don't do that. You know what you're doing. Right
I'm just asking.
You know what you're doing.
Just asking. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. Just looking for explanations. Nothing more. Nothing less. Nothing more. Hey. I'm just saying, I didn't think Laporte would ever get benched by Stones. That's all I'm saying. I thought Stones was washed. I'm just, hey. Don't shoot the messenger. It's the chat. Chat agrees. We're very confused. Laporte was the next saving of Christ, and like I said, benched by John Stones. Okay.
But in politics, isn't it?
But Stones doesn't get into the England team, but it's okay. It's politics. Well, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Like I said, it's just something to think about, Manchester City fans, if you're watching. You know, John Stones doesn't get into the England squad, but Laporte is the best centre back in the league. Okay, it's been brilliant talking to everybody.
No. Thiago Silva, does he start for Brazil?
Huh?
Does he start for Brazil?
I think he might have retired. I don't know. Like he said, he's very old. But he was starting. Make no mistake about it. He was starting. People, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a very last notice, but we will be having a pre-match regular show with regular guests that I'm setting up. Like I said, I've put in the community tab as well. I'm setting up a regular show with Eunice and Miz. Couple other shows as well. I'd say I'll probably do about 4 shows, regular live streams with the same guests, with new themes, new intros that you can say that are going to happen the same time every single week. That you can get used to, and you can be like, okay, cool, this is what I'm tuning into, and then you can pick your favorite shows and whatnot. I'm trying we're bouncing around with different
question. Why board knowledge in the mud? We haven't actually spoke about any tactics for the most part, except for Matisse with Chelsea. Like I don't get your fan base, bro. I just
you can argue. You listen. I'm wrapping up. You can argue with them in the comment section, right? If you want to argue with Saj, because he's slack. Saj is slacking lately. He hasn't been responding to comments. It's okay. If you want to leave some comments under this stream, you can argue. I'm not sorry, sir. Please stop. If you want to argue with him, if you want to argue with him in the comment section of the stream, feel free to leave a comment about his ball knowledge. You can argue down there. Saj will respond. I'm sure he will. But as I was saying, we're just setting up in the process of some weekly shows. Miz and Eunice is the first one. Got some other ones coming up as well. I'm probably going to do 4 where they're going to be regular time, same time every week, different themes. And yeah, they're going to have new intros, new branding, everything. So I will see you people tomorrow. Obviously, we've got the game. Hopefully, we can get some points on the board. I'm not confident, but we'll see how it goes. Saj, any last words?
Bruv, because man's been very polite until this point. Yeah, Chelsea.
You say anything mad?
I'm just
okay. We're gonna mute him. We're gonna just mute him.
pray you win tomorrow, innit? Because if you don't, man's gonna come on here and I'm just gonna lambast the comment section for the whole time. There's just gonna be bare banter. I'm gonna get at people, yeah. I'm gonna get at your mums, your dads, your aunties, and your uncles, fam. Because you, man, love to celebrate constantly. Constantly, fam. You celebrate all the time, fam. All the time, fam. It's time for you, man, to hit down a couple pegs, fam. Because you, man, ain't even touching top 4 this season. That's all I've got to say.
YB said take it easy, yeah, because some of them are just taking the mick for you. But Saj said he's gonna come for some people regardless.
I feel like I'm away from my people. Where's the Man City people when you need them, bro? Where's my people? Where's my congregation? And when I say the Man City people, I mean the Man City people that are from London, not the Man City people from Manchester. I think those people won't like me as well. So
there's not many Man City fans as we've seen over the years in the ground. In a bit, people. See you later. Thank you so much.